Hi, this is Cecilia from Scrapbooking Cecilia, and today I want to share with you a new tutorial on how to make this favor box just perfect for the next season with the gorgeous Hello Pumpkin. I'm going to use the 8x8 for fussy cutting elements. As you can see here, some leaves, some of the adorable pumpkins, and from the 12 by 12 I'll use stickers, and also I use my stamp set of this collection. I just stamp the leaves on vellum paper, but in this side I use distress ink just to add a little bit of color, and in the opposite side I stamp with this one, Versamark, and then use some gold embossing powder and just fussy cut them. This is so pretty. And here you can see I have some of my fussy cuttings, and for the base I'm using here these patterns and solids, and now I'm going to use this one to make the tutorial for you in the orange color. Let me move this away, and I'm planning to use some of the graphic 45 trim, but probably I'm going to ink this. I'm not sure yet. Here I use some seam binding. So let me tell you, my 12 by 12 paper, I just cut, well, remove the top side, but then I cut it in a half. In this way I have 6 by 12 and 6 by 12. Okay, so let me tell you how I did all the scoring lines and how I cut this, because that's important. This is me remaining a piece of papers. So we need 2 pieces to make these cute boxes, and because my paper has pattern, this one I just put it in this way, upside down. Can you see? And then I start scoring at 3/8, 3/4 of an inch. Next scoring line is 4 3/4. Then we need to add another 3/4 of an inch. That means it's 5.5, and then 7.5, 8.25, and the total is 8 3/4 of an inch the long side. Okay, now I just turn this in this way, and my upper side is in the right, and I made a scoring line at 3/4 of an inch, then 4 3/4, 5.5, and the total is 6. Okay, this is piece number 1, and of course I trimmed the excess here, which was just a tiny piece because the paper is 12. Okay, now with the other half of the paper, you can put it in the right direction. The top side is in my top board. Okay, and the first scoring line is at 3/4, then 4 3/4, and the last one is 3.5, and the total is 4. Now I turn this and score at 3/4, again 4 3/4, 5.5, and I trim at 6. Okay, so now I can remove this piece, Okay, now that we made the scoring lines, it's not easy to see it in this side. It's easier in the back side. I hope you can see it. And I already made some marks. Here in this space that measure 2 by 4, I made marks in the long side, a half an inch in the top and a half an inch in the bottom, and from side to side again a half and a half to open a window because we are going to remove this. In this one we have a long side here, the 3/4 of an inch, and here we have the 4. Okay, so I made a mark at the center, which is 2, and just draw a line. This will be really handy later. Now we have 3/4 here, and in the next space, which is 2 by 4, again I am going to open a window, so I mark a half an inch this side and a half an inch here, as well as the top and the bottom. And now I'm going to remove all of this. Okay, now I am just erasing here my marks. This is already cut, and now we just need to crease all the scoring lines perfectly. As well as the bottom and the top. And in this one, I am just going to remove a little bit, just a tiny, tiny, tiny piece, because we are going to assemble both pieces and we want to be sure it fits perfectly. Okay, so just remove a little bit. Okay, now we will continue by removing this piece here. I am working in the back, as you can see, and here I made a tiny angle. Here you need to cut straight, and then this tiny flap in this way. Again, here is straight up, and now here. Now here we can go a little bit in angle, and also here. Now in the top side, here we are going to cut onto to the second scoring line straight again, and here first and second. Okay, now here I am just going to remove this, and this piece I am just going to be a little bit in angle here, also here, and also here. Again here, we remove this, and here a little bit in angle as well. Okay, now we can remove all this side. Okay, no, I'm going to cut here and here. And now we are going to remove this piece. in this way. I think, no, this piece, it's gone as well. We don't need that piece. And neither this, I remember. Okay, and now this one, this is my bottom. Here I am just going to cut straight up a little bit in angle here. Again, straight up, and this tiny flap in angle, this it's going to keep straight. In here in the 1/2 inch. Okay, let's start here straight till the second flap scoring line. Now, because this piece is going to be here, yes, here, I'm going to remove here, and then I just need to cut a little bit in angle in these two sides, and this it's going to be this way. Okay, now with my crocodile in 1/4 inch, I just round these flaps, the 1/2 inch of these flaps. And next, what I am going to do is ink all the edges, even here, the windows, okay, in this way. And of course, all the sides in this way, even the tiny flaps, because I like the idea to watch a nice brownish color instead of the white, especially because this is a beautiful fall season paper collection, so it's a good idea, oops, to have everything inked. I'm going to finish all of this. Before I inked these pieces, I made a mark, a pencil mark in this side with measure from here to here are 2 and then 2. Okay, I made my mark at the center here, which was 1 and then 3, and using my 3/4 of an inch circular punch, I am just opening here at tiny pieces to this. It's better to do it right now because it's going to make everything easier later to open the back. Okay, now we are ready to assemble all of this, but first we need to add our acetates here. So I have my 2 pieces that measure 1 3/4 by 3 3/4, and I'm going to use this glue to add all around the windows here and here, and let it dry a little bit with the acetate. Okay, we are going to add the glue. Don't add the glue too close to the window because you don't want to damage your acetate later with the glue, and I like to add my glue first, and then I remove the plastic because this acetate has plastic in both sides to protect this. Well, I think this doesn't have in the back. Nope. Okay. And we just press slightly. Don't press too hard because the glue will show in the front. And now we are going to repeat it here. Remove the plastic and we are ready to attach this one in here. And again, we just need to press a little bit and let this dry better. I have here some, so I need to remove it because I'm going to add some candies inside and I don't want them to be stuck here. Okay, now in this side you can see here I have my double-sided tape already, but we are going to work first with this. You need to add glue in this 1/2 inch flap. Remember, here we have the 3/4 of an inch and we just slide down a little bit. Well, it's here where you need to add the glue, and we are going to align it here in this piece. And of course you want to be sure it is aligned in the top and in the bottom as well. In this way we already have here, and I am watching some glue and it's better to remove it right now before it stick on the acetate. Okay, and now we are going to add glue in this tiny flap, and here I am just watching a little bit of white and I don't like that. Liquid glue here, and we will remove this to stick here. When you do that, you need to be sure it is centered with this line, and in the bottom and in the top lines as well. Okay. Okay, I have everything ready, and I use this classic ivory and natural linen trim, but I use this gorgeous stamp and my archival ink in potting soil color. I think that's the color, to ink it here because I want to attach this piece here. Now I can see this is a little bit long, so I'm going to cut a little bit, and it is time to stick this, but I will be using this piece better. This glue, it's going to be covered on the top, so not too on the top. Maybe a little bit more on the bottom, something like this. More inside. Yes, that's perfect. And now we can add the glue here. And I am just going to try to align it here using my mat to try to put this on place. That's it. And now I can see where is my line. And we can stick this piece here. It's just an adornment, okay? To embellish a little bit the box. Now here I have this prepared, but first I just cut 2 pieces of the paper that I use here to add a little embellishment here. So let's glue them together first. Now we can add this here. Align it with this side and with the top. In this way. Now I have this beautiful I don't remember, square with some leaves and pines, and I just add some pieces of chipboard. But I have also this that is so beautiful, and maybe I will need to add it. Yes, but first I think for this I'm going to use just a tiny piece of my slim double-sided tape instead of liquid glue, just to keep the shape. Oh my god, here is. There we go. And now I'm just going to add my glue here. Here now we can stick. Well, let's continue here first. I want pumpkins here, but because I have the fabric, I'll be using this glue. Now these tiny flowers. in here just to cover this lid. And this one here. I just cut another of these leaves to add it in here. And that's it. I hope that you like this project and will give it a try. There are many possibilities to make these beautiful boxes, and here you can see it's already filled with some Mexican candies. So I just need to fill the new one as well. Thank you so much for joining me in this tutorial.